All right, so I think this is my widest board here. Just look at that. This is fresh off the mill. We'll go all the way. Let's see if I can get that all the way down. Look at that. And I can even go long ways. Little bit, tiny bit low in the middle. But I mean, that's probably a 64th. Look at that, just all the way down. It is just absolutely perfect here. I mean, these are good boards. I don't know, honestly, after using that Granberg EZ Rail System, I don't know that I'm gonna do anything else, to be honest. It just works so beautifully. Well, that didn't go well. The mill kept riding up on the rails, and I thought I just had it off balance, but no matter what I did, it kept riding up. So I don't know what that was. I'm gonna check to see if everything's in line. Maybe my rail wasn't square. Huh, that's actually not too bad. All right, I don't know how it's not worse than that. Every time I've milled, when the rails have rode up like that, I've had horrible boards. It's just been ruined. But this is, I mean, look at that. I was really prepared for the worst. I mean, I really was. I don't know how in the heck this is as good as it is. I mean, you look at that, it's good this way and it's good that way. There's a little divot here. I would say that's probably a 1/16 of an inch, and that's from where I stopped. That's where I stopped the mill. Anytime you stop the mill, you're gonna get a little valley. And there's one little one here. No bigger than a 1/16. This is perfectly acceptable. I'm amazed. All right, so as luck would have it, I got a call from a friend of a friend whose son has a white oak that fell from the storm. And he asked me if I could do anything with it, if I could take a look at it. And white oak is fantastic. Now, it's about 40 miles away from me. It's in Fayetteville, so we'd have to drive. And and there's that. But I'd love to, I mean, people ask me how I get wood. A lot of it is referrals. Like, you kind of have a social network, and then your social network has a social network. And I get a lot of calls from people who have trees down asking if I can come and mill it. And, you know, it works great. I save them some money on removal. I reuse the wood. Sometimes I even do a project for them, and it works great. But I mean, that's a big part of it, is just kind of being a little bit social. I mean, I'm not even a social guy. And then you let your people find people. So in this case, I hope I can go mill it. I hope it's a good white oak. That'd be wonderful, but we'll see. I think this is a really pretty log. The first couple boards had some green to them. Now we're getting into that, this is that parallel grain. When you get to that vertical end grain, you get the interlacing from the maple. Pretty common to have some of this center pith rot in maple. A little bit of a branch there, but wow, this is just absolutely beautiful. Really beautiful. A little checking there. But these boards are nice and solid, and I tell you what, they're pretty dry. I'm shocked at how dry they are. I haven't had them sitting that long. I did take the bark off, but that's about it. Go. These are the top and bottom, and actually this is the top. And one of the things that I love about this Granberg mill here is how thin I can get my top and bottom planks. I mean, that's maybe 3/4 of an inch, and so I didn't waste any wood on this log. Really beautiful wood. It has some color to it, and I think there was going to be color to it no matter what. This limb was propped up in the air for some time before I bucked it, but it had been rotting on the stump, so there was going to be color in here no matter what. One thing I wanted to share is just how, I don't know if you can see how beautifully flat that is. The guys that I take my big slabs to for surfacing can't believe this is chainsaw milled wood, because it is every bit as clear, as consistent as bandsaw milled lumber. And in some cases, I think it's actually a little bit better. You know, if you run a good quality ripping chain, I only run steel ripping chain. I won't touch anything else. I've used Archer, I've used Carlton, I've used Oregon, I've used Holzforma, I've used Neotech. I think I've probably used every brand of chainsaw out there. I've used Husqvarna, which is, I think, made by Oregon. And there's some great ones out there, but steel is the best. The steel ripping chain, I don't think it matters what machine you're running. The ripping chain makes a huge difference, and I won't touch anything else. It cost me 75 bucks a chain for my 36-inch bar, but I'll pay that every day of the week. And I'll just pick another one out of it. I mean, this one is bang on. I mean, just absolutely Jeez. I mean, wow. Now I will say this is the top cut. So this one went right. That's the top cut. Was that it? Maybe it was this one. Yeah. That's I don't know. Trying to remember which one was my top cut. This one has, I think this was it, because it's got just a little bit, I can see just a little bit of light here and here. And I still don't understand why my mill wasn't riding flat. Honestly, it was probably me. But despite that, this board isn't ruined. If that would have happened with my kind of jerry-rigged 2x6 technique, that board would have been toast, and I'd either have to plane dang near 3/8 of an inch off of it, or cut it up into something smaller. It's just incredible. I mean, every single board here is absolutely perfect. I mean, absolutely perfect. I am so excited by that. This is 16 inches, 16 and a half, widest point up top. Look at how beautiful that is. Some nice character here. This is gonna have to be kiln dried. You know, some people ask why I have to kiln dry. I did a video on the economics of chainsaw milling, and you know, why I can't really, I have to get red oak for free, because if I pay any money for it, I'm already in the hole, because I'm already in the hole just milling it. So it really ends up being kind of just reusing lumber, and there are people that will pay extra for felled timber, and they kind of have to, because otherwise, you know, you're just supplying wood for free for projects. So nobody saw that video, but I mean, this is just incredible. So anyway, some people asked why I have to kiln dry, why I can't air dry. And you know, air drying doesn't really help you if there's already bugs in the wood. And there's already bugs in the wood here. You look at every one of these black spots is a tunnel that something dug into it. Some really nice color here. That is 1 3/4 is what I milled these two. So these are gonna be really, really nice. Really, really nice. And this one, little bit, maybe it's a little bit low on the very ridge here, but nothing that, I mean, just a little bit of light surface prep, and this thing is perfect. At the end here, there might be a little bit of, yeah, there's a little bit of a low spot there. All right, the other thing too, notice how the sawdust changes. That was not a fresh chain that I put on. This is the last board that I milled. See how there's a couple of little chips, but it's mostly sawdust. As I go down under, let's see if I can just turn this over. You see how there are more chips, and I think this is some of the first stuff that I milled. And again, it was not a fresh chain. I just kind of needed to do something this morning. And so I wasn't about to spend an hour sharpening up my chain. You know, look, the further down you get, the more chips there are and less sawdust. A sharp chain will throw ribbons. Okay, so I've spent, I don't know, maybe an hour milling, and I don't know that I will ever go back. Like I was saying, I don't know that I'll ever go back to that 2x6 or 2x8 system of milling. It was too easy. It worked too well. You know, like I said, I still can't, maybe I'll have to go back and watch the video. I don't understand why my mill wasn't quite sitting flat. I think it's because I used 2 2x4s as blocks to keep that thing level. Something must have happened either in tightening it down or whatever the case may be, but the rail system wasn't at all phased by that. It still produced an unbelievable board, a very good quality board that I'll be able to do any number of things with. I'm going to look into selling these. I don't sell as much lumber as I want to, but I have a lot of it right now, and maple tends to be a little bit easier to sell than red oak or white oak. Maple isn't as much of a commodity lumber, and some people really like the character. That kind of mid-century modern furniture style is in right now. It's been in for a long time, but it's coming back in a big way right now, and maple is very much consistent with what people want when they think of mid-century modern. So I'm gonna look into selling that. There's a couple people I gotta call, but not a whole lot of people are getting back to me. So I don't know, I might throw it on the marketplace or Craigslist or somewhere. Sell it as a green board, maybe spend a little money to kiln dry it if I can get the space. I'm looking into seeing if I can rent just a whole block of space in a kiln, fill it up with everything that I got, and that'll hopefully help get me some kiln footage in the next couple of weeks. Maybe I'll throw this maple in with that load. But that rail system, it worked beautifully. It was easy to set up. It was just like the mill. It was actually a lot easier to set up than the mill. Those dogs worked great. Those log dogs on the top. I was shocked at how sturdy the rail system was, how much it didn't vibrate. Boards screwed in vibrate more than that rail did. I was so impressed by that. I hammered them in, I think, tighter than I even needed to. But that mill, where has that been my whole life? I've been stubbornly sticking to what I knew. And yeah, so me and this rail, I think, have a bright future together. So, all right, thanks for watching.